to raid Hourz. Execute Order 1620. That's right. From After 8 Hours HQ, it is your illustrious hosts, JackJack1620.
Hello.
And JayTI7N. That's right, the Titan of Jay. How's it going, man?
Good. I know I want to start off by apologizing for the quality of the last podcast. I listened to it and I was like, man, where I was at, even though Kim's house is gorgeous, something was up with the Wi-Fi there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was not good. And it's also the fact, like, I need to get better with my laptop. Okay. And maybe invest in a headset for that thing.
I'm going to get you a headset / mic setup.
Well, I tried, like, connecting my work one there, and it was just, like, no dice. So either I think I just need to dedicate the time to, like, if we do a remote one, because that will happen in the future, then I just have a better setup for that computer.
We'll get it.
So I apologize for that,
the content
listeners.
Was so good.
Yeah, the content was fine. It was just the quality of the voice of myself. I was just like, oof.
Sometimes God has to nerf you. You know, like you're a little too strong sometimes, Jack. No, it's well. Thanks for the apology.
Yeah,
I apologize for not letting you know that it was a little wild trying to record it, but
no, you did the best. I saw that, like, with you, like, oh, Jack dropped. Let me get Jack back on. You had to do a lot more technical feats than you should have to.
We'll get a remote set up, and then I still have the camera set up. Eventually, we'll get that set up for this.
Hell yes.
For HQ.
Yay.
All right, brother. Well, there's been a ton in Pokemon Go recently.
Yes.
What did we talk about Gigantamax last time?
We did. We had talked about how unfortunate it was about how much they charge for Gigantamaxes.
Yeah.
The need for people to do their research, and that still applies now. So, like, today we are in the Drillbur Dynamax rating.
Simply groundbreaking.
Yeah, simply groundbreaking, and there's, like, missions for it and all that good stuff. These are going to be really key Pokemon to get, especially with the Wild Area Global event happening next weekend of the 24th or 23rd and 24th.
Correct.
Because Drillbur is basically 4 times effective against toxicity.
Yeah. Because
toxicity is a poison electric type.
Correct.
And ground just decimates it. So I think the move Drillbur gets is like Mud Slap. It's been a while since I've, like, messed with little Drillburs. But they're out in the Dynamax raid, so they're super easy, 1 stars. Mm-hmm. So you could take it out even with a Wooloo, just power it up a little bit.
Yep.
You'll be fine.
And they give you a ton of, resources to boost it up.
Because they know how much that shit costs.
They know it's going to be an issue. So
for sure.
This is all kind of prep for the wild area, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. The wild area stuff is actually pretty exciting to me. It's taking place in Fukuoka, the in-person one this weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, like, get our data and intel from that situation, and then obviously the worldwide one will be next weekend, as you said. Yeah. They're actually going to have a lead-up event for the next week called Into the Wild. So there's a whole lead-up to this wild area event. But for now, next couple days, the Drillbur will be a really good one. Like you said, the 4 times weakness, that's no joke. Drillbur and Excadrill are also just always excellent Pokemon to have.
For sure.
In general. And it's kind of like, you ever play, like, RPG games? I mean, it happens in Pokemon too. It is an RPG. But, like, just before a boss fight, you open up all the chests. And it's like, here's all the potions. Here's all the
you always got to stock up.
Here's a stronger weapon, or something like that right before, because you know something bad's about to go down.
Yes.
It's essentially what's happening here. So, not hard to do. Just get at least 1. Try to get 3.
I would say 3 and power them up. So this is a great time if you walk a lot, use that buddy stuff. Oh, for sure. Get those candies. I think there's a lot more. I've seen a lot more Drillbur and even Excadrill in the wild. I think Dotman actually just caught a shiny Excadrill.
Yeah.
Which is funny because right after he did that, I did the Dynamax and I got a shiny Drillbur.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, son. So I was pretty happy about that. I know just preparing for it again, catch all those Drillbur while you're out, use your pineapple berries. get that extra stuff. I know I was just looking at, can we jump into like the prep for the wild area?
Yeah, go ahead.
And like what I was looking at.
Yeah, go ahead.
So obviously there's going to be a lot of things happening. Like we talked about before with the wild area, a lot of the spawns are going to be pretty basic. So for like, and they rotate hourly. So the first or one of the hours is electric. You get a Alolan Geodude, Electabuzz, Electrike, Stunfisk, Shinx, both Voltorbs. What is that? Magnemite. You get I forgot the little spider's name. Joltik.
Oh yeah, Joltik.
You get the little Dynamo.
Yep.
You get
Stunfisk.
Is it Stunfisk?
The original Stunfisk, yeah.
You get the little lizard. I forgot his name. Helioptile, and then you get the zebra. Blitzel, okay.
I always remember Zebstrika, but I never remember Blitzel.
Exactly. I'm just like, damn it. So the only one I'm really going for is Helioptile, because I like the little lizards.
The red's so cool, too.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, Shiny's dope. And then for the Poison Hour, it's Skorupi, Toxicroak, or... not Toxicroak. Krogunk. Both Quillfish, Spinarak, Hisuian... What is it? Whooper?
Paldean Whooper.
Paldeans. Sorry.
Hisuian Quillfish.
Yeah.
So you said both Quillfish, though.
Bellsprout, Venipede, Bulbasaur, Tentacool, Skrelp.
Yep.
And then what is...
Marini,
thank you.
Not jellyfish, but it eats Corsola.
Anemones?
They're evil. They eat Corsola. That's all.
Do they eat Corsola?
Yeah. Because
no.
they showed up in Alola in Gen 7. So
yeah.
Sun and Moon. I went around and talked to every NPC. I was like trying to figure out the lore or whatever. And the only way to get them is
monsters.
You have to fish for Corsola, and then you have to do the mechanic where they call in help.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll call on a Marini. But if you look at the Pokedex entry, it breaks off Corsola's things and eats Corsola's.
Fuckers?
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Marini,
so with that, I'm only really looking for Venipede and Skrelp in that one.
Yeah, I mean, those are great ones to have. So
yeah, for the raids, there's 3-star and the Dynamax and the Gigantamax. Gigantamax is obviously the focus. Getting Toxtricity in that form, he could potentially be shiny, which is dope. For the Dynamax, again, Toxtricity is going to be the main focal point. It's also, again, a makeup opportunity if you weren't able to get your Drillburs now, which, again, there's no real reason not to. You have an opportunity still then, and they could all be shiny. There's also going to be the origin forms out for Palkia and Dialga. So if you missed your chance to get them during Go Fest, you have a chance again. You could, like we told you, they will always come back. So don't let that FOMO get to you.
They're good to have. I mean, because the Spatial Rend on the Palkia
and Roar Time and all that.
Spatial Rend on Palkia is super fun for these types of events.
Yes.
Go Fest, even community days, they can be strong. Roar Time is really good, so people are hunting the Galarian shiny birds.
You can extend your clock.
You literally can extend your thing. I've seen people. Now, you need a lot of candies, so rare candies or whatever.
Yeah.
Resources for it. However, I've seen people do a 24-hour daily lure.
That's insane.
And I wouldn't recommend it. However, people do it.
That's a resource. If you want to pour it in, that's fine.
But you get the opportunity to do those with those, so they're not bad, even though they're kind of weird design-wise.
Yeah.
And then also the primals.
Yes.
Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon.
Hell yeah. And so again, those can all be shiny as well. Now, the special focus will be the 3-star raids for the simple fact of our boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Snorlax. So he will have his punk rock jacket or his rocker jacket, which is fucking epic.
Looks sick, dude.
Yeah. There's other features, of course. There's going to be Luxray, and I forgot the final form of Scolipede. There we go. Then we have Venusaur and Electivire for Saturday and Sundays. So that's sure. It's cool that at least for Scolipede it could be shiny, but again, I still think that's going to have its own community day, so I'm not going to waste resources to hunt that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have it, but
yeah. Again, it's one of those sure, but the main focus will be the big boy.
Well, and I know you'll probably get to the mighty Pokemon.
Yes, so with the mighty Pokemon, that is one where basically, it's a new feature, so they're more likely to have better IVs. They also have a higher tendency of being extra large or XXL. Okay. So big boys.
So think of it kind of like when you play in Legends Arceus, like the
alphas.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't had the privilege of playing Legends of Arceus, alphas were just menaces to society in the best way. They had a fiery aura to them, like they were menaces, and it was fantastic. They would charge you, they'd beat you senseless. Yeah. It was great. So for Saturday, there's Pidgeot, Golem, Gyarados, Luxray, Scolipede, Galvantula, Tyrantrum, and then Toxapex. And then for Sunday, there's Venusaur, Electros, Electivire, Dragonite. I forgot the
Trigalge?
Yeah,
You're good.
So that's the big boy is Skrelp, his evolution.
The Dragon Poison.
Then you have that's Mamoswine,
Mamoswine,
right?
Correct.
For Alligator, and then you have Poliwrath. And all those could also be shiny too, and they'll be in the wild. They'll be full formed, but again, it's just nice because might get XL, or you might find him extra large.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited for. That, and then like obviously you catch them the candy.
Yeah, the candy output should be insane, but just also know that they might be harder to catch.
Yeah.
So just be fully aware of that. We'll also get the premiere of the Safari Ball, which should make Pokemon slightly easier to catch. The only downside is again, you can receive them through time research in a very small number. And if you don't use them by the end, they disappear. You also have a chance to get them from spinning Pokestops.
Sorry.
Which is okay. I don't understand why they disappear, but I'm hoping like maybe that'll make catching these mighty Pokemon much easier. So now you have two versions of playing this game. You either don't want to put money into it, which I don't effing blame you. So if you don't do it and you still want to do this event, there'll be the basic kind of perks. Mm-hmm. So you'll have 2-hour lures. You'll have themed research. You'll have one special event snapshot per day. You will have no limit to your raid passes, which is awesome. So if you do remote raids, go ham. Your max energy or max particles, whatever the heck it's called, will get increased from being able to accrue 800 a day to 1,600 a day, so double.
Doubles that, nice.
And then you also get featured attacks for certain catch Pokemon, and when you evolve Pokemon, so I think that's pretty much like your Venusaurs. If you evolve up, you get the Community Day move. Same with Electivire, Electros, for Alligator, Mamoswine, Dragonite, Poliwrath, Luxray, and Gyarados, I think, are the main ones.
Yeah.
That I could think of, just because again they're the mighty Pokemon that are out and about, which is great. So you also have a chance of getting a special background if you care about that with Toxtricity from the max raid. So it will look, I'm not sure what it'll look like, but it'll obviously be unique, similar to like the locational backgrounds that you got from GoFest, where it was showed either England or Las Vegas. Very similar vein of that. You also have new avatar items and hairstyles if you care about that. Some people do, so you might have new ways to spice up your character avatar. There'll also be encounters from your party play, but just again, be aware sometimes party play saps your battery life. Yeah. So highly encourage you to have your batteries ready. Have a game plan for the day, like we've talked about many times for events. Know where you're going to go. If you're in Aurora Municipal Center is the effing place. For a simple fact that it's very minimal in the kids, good parking. There's at least 20 Pokestops, at least 5 gyms, I think like 6 or so Dynamax, potential Gigantamax raid locations, nice. Which is nice. I'm more focused on, again, it's parkability. There's lots of areas to park. And then it's also close to food, which also has even more stuff nearby. So there's the Aurora Mall area. There's a place by Target, or Target for folks that aren't fancy. There's plenty of food in that area. There's Chili's. There's a lot of little restaurants that, again, have access to Pokestops and gyms and Dynamax and Gigantamax things. So keep that in mind because, again, food is important. Know your fuel. Have it ready. Again, have your water, have your battery packs ready.
Also, don't be afraid to pace yourself.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to go 1,000 miles a
minute. Yeah. Especially, again, for this, like I mentioned before, like, I'm probably going to be focusing more on, like, the rating. The other thing that's going to be key, and this is where it's going to be advantageous if you're a ticket holder. There's lots of good perks that, to me, I think that $11.99 is worth it.
Kind of worth it. It is, at least.
Yeah, at default, you get 5 raid passes already, like, per day extra that you get for free. So an extra 10 passes.
Sick.
You get the little collection badge, which is always just cute to get. You get a special research path, which you get a guaranteed access to a Toxtricity in either a Pop Star or a Rockstar Pikachu.
Nice.
And they have the potential to be shiny too, which is dope. You also get 2 times the catch and hatch candy, which is awesome. Half the hatch distance, so this is a prime time again. Hatch all your Eggies before this event starts. I highly encourage you to do that for the simple fact, like, if you do get a 10K egg, that is a chance to get Toxel, which is the baby form of the punk rockers you're going for from the Gigantamax or Dynamax raids. So highly worth it, again, because walking 10Ks in a day is tough work. If you have to do a full 10K, it's much easier when it's a 5K or something like that, or even shorter with using your super incubators. You also get 2 times the hatch and catch, hatch Stardust and XP, so that's dope.
That's nice, yeah.
You get an additional 5,000 XP per raid, which is fantastic. You get an additional XL candy from 5-star raids and higher. You also get 6 special trades per day and reduced costs. You get more chances for snapshot encounters. You get 3 times more, or 3 more of them. You also have higher increased chance of running into Toxel from a 10K egg. What else? You get your increase for your max particles or the energies from exploration for the day. So I'm hoping that just increases from when you spin them.
Yeah, so like you hit it, it's like a 300 or 100 or whatever it is.
It's like 120 normally, so I'm hoping it like doubles.
Maybe it's like 240.
Yeah, that to me should be 300, but we'll see. And then your daily limit from your collection, instead of it being doubled already for the non-pass holders, it gets doubled from that. So instead of 4 times the amount, so you get 32,000 instead of 16.
3,200.
Oh, 3,200. Sorry, I wish it was 32,000, but I couldn't. Here we go.
I mean, you got 10 accounts; it'll be 32,000 for you, right?
I only play the means, but with it for this event, you also get a special pose, and then you also get a timed research each hour for rewards like the Go Safari Ball. So again, I'm hoping that those are going to be worth it for these mighty Pokemon that will be out, because I expect them. I almost get the vibes of Latios and Latias from Vegas.
Oh no!
Of where it's like
forever scarred.
Yeah, like let's make them suffer together, and you use all your resources to catch them. I imagine that's the case, because for any of you that didn't play, again, Legends of Arceus, alpha Pokemon were hard to catch.
Yeah.
You had to use a lot of resources, and at the beginning you did. As you got more experience, they weren't as bad. But they take some time, because you got to like beat them up with stuff. And it's been a while since I played Legends of Arceus, but I just know like when you first come across them, they trashed you. Like you literally had to run and hide because you just couldn't take them on.
Just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. And taking from how they did the Gigantamax the first wave and seeing how much that obliterated people, I feel like this might be a downgrade from that, but still, like, you're not going to be fighting them, you're going to be trying to catch them. So I imagine them sinking a lot of your resources, so highly encourage you to beef up your Great and Ultra Ball intake. If you haven't, do so. Get those tickets if you're trying to get the Snorlaxes. If you want to go hard for Dynamax and Gigantamax, again, coordinate in your area. I know a lot of folks in the Aurora area, especially I heard like Southland's had some trouble, but a lot of folks in the Aurora area, we know who the day one players are, because like game recognized game.
Right.
But if you're not familiar with the area, like be open and talk to, if you see a raid, be like, is anyone else doing this? Speak up. It is A-okay to do so.
Yeah.
And hopefully others will join in your quest to fight those things. because they're hard. They need the people power to take it down.
Yeah, you definitely do.
So don't be hesitant to communicate those things. I think that will help. Another thing, again, is making sure if you're trying to maximize your return with something, sometimes having your buddy Pokemon helps. Make sure your buddy Pokemon has at least a 2-star so it can headbutt balls back and things like that. If you're trying to train a new one, that's not the time. And again, if you want to, Mega Evolve, do something that has like poison or electric if you're trying to get those candies back.
Yeah.
Because they always give max return, so it might be more advantageous to do a poison type if you're hunting toxicity.
Yeah.
To get that boost.
I was gonna say, if you're a ticket holder, there is the branching special research, so you get to pick either electric or poison, essentially.
Yeah.
So that might determine which one you mega.
I'm so hoping these researches don't take up ungodly amounts of time.
I feel like, we'll see.
Because I feel like it's going to have the collection thing, because they always do.
Always.
And that's what's going to suck, is that these mighty Pokemon are tough to catch. You might have to stop. You can't just like walk and grind, because I doubt the Pokemon catchers are going to be just going. I don't think they're going to be up to date to use Safari Balls. So I think if you're one of those players that uses your gachas or whatever exclusively, you might want to take the time to actually catch certain Pokemon, because I don't think they'll be up to snuff for that event. And that's just, again, my feeling, and I trust my gut when it comes to that. I know Niantic has jokes, and they like to change things on a dime without letting you know. So that is my take on it. Again, I encourage you to do your research on like what's best to fight the origin forms, to fight the primal forms. Toxicroak, again, you're going to need good Dynamax Pokemon. Toxtricity, yeah. Sorry, not Toxicroak. So get those Drillbur now, like Drill Baby Drill.
Drill Baby
But for
Drill.
Drillburs, for cute Pokemon.
For real.
Don't destroy your environment. And so forth. And again, if you're an egg person like myself, I already have like all my like super incubators ready. There are boxes for them. And again, highly encourage you, if you like to grind and do this, I feel like there's a threshold of time and energy versus cold hard cash that you need to consider.
Right.
Because to get some of those boxes, like the 7,000 coin boxes, that's like half a year's worth of work for a box.
Oh, you're talking about...
Yeah, to like grind it like legit 50 coins every day to get.
Yeah.
Let's just see how long that would take if you were to do that right now. How long it would actually take you?
50 coins. So if you got 50 coins every day, what is it, 18,000 or 16,200 coins or something like that. So it's almost half.
Yeah, so it would take 140 days.
And that's assuming you get 50 coins a day.
Yeah, so it would take almost 5 months to get one box that is 7,000 coins.
Correct.
And of that time, again, of those days, the 140 days, if you spend an hour playing every day, obviously that's 140 hours of your work. Now just multiply that by like your like hourly salary, and that's how much money you spent playing that game. I think that's always my quick check.
Hey, it's a good way to look at it.
And to me, it's like, is that worth that time to grind for that? To me, no. I'm not going to spend that much time. I much rather, there's other quality of life things, and especially going into the upcoming year of 2025. I don't know what year of which animal that is. All I know is that shenanigans may be afoot. You may be on Team Yikes. What's going to happen next? Yikes. That is what team I'm on, Team Yikes. Others might be like Hoorah or whatever. I'm not sure. No, I should say Hoorah.
Hooga Shaka.
Hooga Shaka. Hooga Shaka. Yeah, they could be like that. They could be on that team. Team Hooga Shaka. Which, again, there's going to be things happening in the upcoming years. So just be considerate of your time and your energy and how you invest it.
Snake?
You hear the snake? Oh, that's fitting.
The wood snake.
The wood snake. Ooh, okay. Just keep your eye out, watch out, there's vipers amongst us.
Yeah, exactly. No, but
yeah,
I agree.
I know that's typically how I look at like my costs and spending. And again, for a $12 event that's going to entertain you for potentially 16 hours,
yeah,
that's not a bad purchase.
Well,
like people spend more. I spend more on a Chipotle burrito
nowadays, for real though,
dude.
Anyway, I don't know if you've ever been to Yampa Sandwich Company.
No,
they
Yampa?
Are overpriced. They're good. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Delicious, wonderful sandwich.
I don't even know where that's
should
at.
Not be that expensive. Well, they're in the let's call it affluent areas of town. No.
Oh.
No, they're like there's a bunch. There was like one downtown next to my building.
I was like, who's she? I don't go there.
She didn't even go here.
She didn't even go here.
There's one in downtown next to my office building, and then there's one across the street from our apartment.
Oh wow!
But like
they're stalking you, bro.
Our apartment is in like the DTC area. It's a very like kind of urban walkable style. Of
course.
So it's got a lot of higher end. Like there used to be a sushi ramen at the base of our building, for instance.
Oh, nice.
Not anymore, unfortunately. It'll be.
Where did it go?
I don't know. The sushi Rama sign is still in the corner. I'm trying to get.
It's like remember us.
I'm trying to get George to help me steal it, but that's a different thing. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so the stuff there's a little bit pricey.
Okay.
But Yampa Sandwich Company, just explaining like it's a wonderful sandwich, but it's like $14 for a sandwich.
How big
sandwich,
is it?
Not even like a normal size sandwich.
No, it needs to have girth.
That's what I'm saying. If it was like, have you ever been to Freebird?
No.
It's a
what
burrito.
Are all these places?
Freebird is like a burrito place. That was like back in like Lubbock. They're in college, some college
Okay.
towns.
I was just like,
made it to Colorado yet.
Yeah, the only sandwich place we had was like Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
So Freebird is kind of like a Chipotle.
Okay.
Make a burrito, nachos, all that other stuff, or Qdoba. But they have a size that's bigger than basically it's 2 Chipotle burritos in one. They call it like a monster burrito or something.
That sounds glorious.
It was wonderful.
Hell yeah.
Perfect for college. So anyway, if it was that size, cool. But it wasn't that size. Not at least Yampa. Anyway, this goes to say, I'm just saying like, your money's worth something.
Yeah, it is. And as much as we feel things might not be, prices are changing all the time. The scope of it doesn't look too good right now either.
But
for certain things,
$12 in this case is pretty worth it. Like you said, it's a weekend event. We called for a fall event.
Yeah, they listened
this year. They did listen, and I'm kind of excited to see where this goes.
And it's a trial, of course.
Yeah,
we have to see how this goes. If you are in protest of certain things, then keep protesting. I'm not going to stop you, for sure. I know there's a lot of people who are against this, as they call it, the gimmick of Dynamax and Gigantamax, which I'm like, I think it requires a F ton of energy, a lot of Stardust, a lot of candies.
Yeah.
For me, I like the Pokemon, so I don't mind it, but I'm not blowing the same amount. Like there were people who I saw on Facebook who did like 50 something Dynamax raids, and I was like, no.
The only way
I just literally was like
the Gigantamax starters were cool. Gengar is cool.
Yeah.
The only way I would go that hard on it is if they were like the clones came back and those could be Gigantamax or something like that.
That'd be a great reintroduction of the clones. I'd be like, here we go.
Bring back the clones. That's one of those things I do wish they would have brought back.
Yes.
Those are increasingly rare.
I love them.
But I love the clones. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, actually, I hadn't really seen that side of the discourse in terms of like I understand it's a lot of resources for them.
Yeah.
And it's its own battle system. Like, why do we have 3 different battle systems in the game?
Exactly.
The gym / PV, or not PvP, but the gym style.
Gym.
You have the PvP style, and then now you have Gigantamax, Dynamax.
Yes.
Which is kind of funky.
It's a lot.
I was on the other side of it, like, it's challenging for an old player like us. It's like something a little bit new and exciting. It'll wear out its welcome maybe eventually, but like
I think people
in the system needs a little bit of
zhuzhing.
Yeah.
And I feel with this new feature, it's not bad in the sense that, like, they're not charging you stuff. So that was people's immediate issue is why can't I remote? Well, they're not charging you a ticket. You don't have to buy. The only thing you have to buy is if you want to keep fighting more of them, you have to buy the energy. But if you can, again, ration yourself out to do the one raid, or you get your energy and then you wait for the next day to then do the rage and you do that mental preparation, you can do that. Like, I think we only bought energies like once or twice. And again, that was our limit. And mainly it was just to help out other people nearby because we had the power.
Yeah, so it was a community move.
Yeah, it was a community move. It wasn't for our own internal benefit outside. Like, we got the benefit, of course, like it's another raid we get to do. But it wasn't like our go-to thing. Like, we didn't set out to like, I need to do 20 of these. Each of us, and I think I appreciated the Aurora community's kind of group consensus, at least the group I was with, was like, we just want this for the decks. And that's it. But then we would see like the dad and their son show up and be like, oh crap, we missed Charizard. Could people help us with that? And we're like, you know what? Why not?
Right.
We're helping out because we see the kid being like bright-eyed, like, I just want to get this Charizard. And I remember the dad, I think he's like, we got it. So you're good for the day, right? Like, we could go do other stuff. And the kid's like, yeah. And I was like, that's a good dad. Like, he's
respect. He
made sure, but the kid understood balance and not going overboard. I was like, that's beautiful. We watched a lesson happen in front of our eyes.
Character development.
Yeah, deep. But beyond that, I was like, we all were like, we have other stuff to do. And I appreciate that, like, the at least community that we're a part of understands that now, to be like, there's other priorities on our plate, but we still want to make that little time to enjoy.
Okay.
And so with this, again, if it's not making you, as you've joked about before, if it's not sparking joy, then don't do it. Like, that's fine. If you don't want to do the wild areas, that's A-okay. There'll be some of us out there, so if you do come out to AMC, you'll see us out there playing.
For sure.
I'll be running around. I'll be looking for the Dynamax raids. And again, I'm basic now. Like, I'm becoming what we used to joke about and feared the most, of becoming a filthy casual.
Well,
but
I've
don't
been there for years now.
Yeah, but I don't mind it anymore, in the sense that, like, I'm not going to be like, man, I need to go drive across the street to go do that raid. I'm like, no, I'll just wait an hour and hope it spawns here, man. Like, I'm walking, I'm talking, and I'm just catching what's available.
See,
that's fine with me.
Well, okay, so touching on a couple topics here. First one,
go for it.
Features. How do you quick catch?
Well,
Pokemon Go.
Okay, so quick catch, they brought it back because they had taken it out for like a quick second, because I was like, it's not working.
It was Carla was trying to quick catch. She was like frustrated.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong?
She's Did my fingers get dumb on me?
Quick catches, it's not working.
Yeah. She was absolutely right.
We actually we got her back onto an iPhone.
Okay.
She has her Galaxy flip phone or whatever, which is a cool little phone or whatever.
Yeah, and
but she was like, because she would play it on my phone. She's like, oh, you can sell quick catch. I want to play Pokemon Go on an iPhone because you can quick catch. I was like, you can't quick catch on your phone. Anyway, point is, it did go away for a second. It is back.
Thank God.
But I'm mainly asking because the way my fingers work, because I've been playing, quick catching for 7 years or whatever, in a very specific way, and it's changed because they changed the little berry tab.
Yes.
Because I use the berry side to quick catch, not the Pokeball side. So what I do is, like, I'll hold the berry, and then I'll slide the menu open as I throw or whatever, and then I usually swipe left to close the menu, and then I hit the run button, right?
Okay.
Now, because they changed it to where, like, it's a tab that comes up, like, you'd either have to swipe it down or you tap the screen and then run.
Now I gotta, like, hop into the game real quick, like, what do I do? Because now it's just, like, instinctual.
Yeah, it's very instinctual, but what I'm just trying to say is, like, they introduced basically a tab so you can see more of your berries, so you can see all your berries at the same time. Same thing with the balls.
Yeah.
And so that has thrown me off. So in terms of features or the quality of life updates, this is one that has thrown off my groove.
So typically, like, when I do it, I'll click the Pokeball I want. Mm-hmm. Then I immediately, like, grab the Pokeball icon to slide it.
Yeah. With
the other finger, usually my right, because I'm right-handed. I'll spin it, throw it, let go, and then I'll tap out. Okay. And then I run.
So you'll tap and run.
Yeah.
So I'll show you kind of what I do, and I'm sorry I'm not screen recording for the listeners here.
That's all right.
So when I do it, I actually do the berry side, like this, and then the menu comes up. I used to slide left to close that menu and then run. But now I can't slide left because it's a tab. I have to slide down for that version. So anyway, it's just kind of... I'm trying to get used to just tapping on the screen again instead of sliding the menu closed for the quick catch. It's like one of the minor things, but it's actually kind of thrown me off quite a bit recently.
And see, like, I usually do the Pokeball... I do the Pokeball one for the simple fact of when I do it, it lets me change the Pokeball and then I move.
Right.
So that's why I've been doing it that way. But like I like because I normally don't have more than the 3, and the Great Ball isn't on the lower tab to make it a full tab of all the berries.
Right.
And so that's where it just goes, and I'm just like, okay.
I've always used the berry menu for quick catching, so it's like, and then now I just have it as the.
I see.
I also use the remember last ball I used a lot.
Yeah. I'm so thankful for that feature.
Yeah, so sometimes I like the little features. This one, I don't mind the tab, but it's just like, it threw me off pretty bad. I was like, why? What is happening?
Yeah, there's certain things where I wish, again, like we've joked about it before, where you could just go back to 8-bit mode. Oh, I wish there was more setting abilities with this to like simplify it, or be like, I just want it in one line, or I want it as a sheet. Mm-hmm. Because if you're fine working with it before, then just I should be able to keep it instead of like the group change for certain elements. And that's where I'm just like, blah. Like, those are weird quality of life things I think like Niantic would do, but they just don't. They choose like random things to like upgrade. And again, like we talked about it when, because I was like, I think we were talking about it at the Mankey Community Day.
Yeah.
And that was fine. Like Mankeys, I love the spawn rate because they were every fucking where.
How was your shiny rate?
It was stupid high, okay. But then I talked to other people and it was stupid low, so I was just on the upper. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. I didn't make any blood oaths with anyone, but I definitely got a lot more Mankeys. It was just I didn't take the time to like switch the buddy. I wish they would have just. I didn't make the time to switch the buddy to do the catches in order to evolve up.
Right.
I'm glad that both Primeape and Annihilate got Rage Fist.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So I was basically like. Because I laughed because I left partway through because I don't know what was going on that day, but my phones were just dying.
Okay.
Like, the charge didn't really last, so I was like, I need to go home. So I left around like 3:30ish. I left.
Okay, so about halfway through.
Halfway through. And I was like, man, that sucks. Because normally I'm there for at least 2 hours, and then I'm like, the last hour, I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah, just vibing.
As soon as I got home, lo and behold, 100% was sitting at my house.
Nice.
So I was like rotating out. I was like, catch. And then I was just like, well, let me farm some Mankeys. And then I was like, oh, dang, I didn't evolve all these guys up. And then I always do trades.
Yeah. To
see if I get a lucky, better IV one. Because again, luckies equal cheaper Stardust rates to power.
Absolutely.
And so that's been my whole focus is like, I'm trying to be frugal with my Stardust and just be like, yeah, I can't be spending full power unless it's Dynamax for something I want. So at that shiny Blastoise I got, yeah, he's going to get powered up.
Yeah, for sure. And
I know I'm going to be wasting Stardust, so I have to save costs elsewhere. Again, I'm very economic about that. I'm like, and for some folks, they don't think about that. They're just like, blow it all right now. I'm like, no, don't do that. No. Like, I'll do that only if it's like a high IV, I'll get close. But then others, I'm like, save it because I might get lucky with someone who has it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to save, like that shiny Drillbur I got. I'll probably power that one up because the odds of someone wanting to trade me a shiny Drillbur also that's lucky with me is like very small.
Right.
Which I'm cool with. And then also I'm trying to, with some of that stuff too, the other focus point is something that, again, Dom and I were like, we brought up to the leads. We're going to try to pursue the whole community ambassador thing.
I was going to ask how that's going.
I have yet to hear back. I just get feedback. Yeah, there's so many applicants. It's just taking us some time. Do I believe that? No. I don't think people are jumping over hoops and barrels to become ambassadors. But I did find it interesting, like, the vetting process of it. Mm-hmm. So trying to get better about that. But we have been a little bit more active in Campfire. And already there's a person who, like, we see hosting events, and I'm just like, cool. And even Dotman's like, man, they're like trying to monopolize on it. I'm like, hey, no shame in their game. Like, I think it's fine. It just gives me vibes of like Facebook when they're like, well, we're rating this Pokemon. And I'm like, that's great. Raid your Pokemon. We'll just wait. Like, right. I'm not trying to rush. I'm not trying to be like, let's merge all these groups and combine these energies, because some people get weird about it. Like, I remember back in the day, like when I still think about it on that Mareep Community Day when they're like, well, we need to interview you. I'm like, on Mareep Community Day?
Yeah.
When I'm trying to go catch my pink sheeps?
Yeah, get interviewed, baby.
And then they're like, what is your purpose here? Like, what is this? I was like, this is Pokemon.
Right, you chill the fuck out.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. And with some folks, like, because again, we're already like an established group.
Yeah.
Like, granted, a lot of our player base has calmed down, which is fine. Yeah. I don't think we ever said you have to be a forever player, like, or a forever trainer. Like, you can definitely have your interests and go do your other stuff. And just know, like, the community's there. If you ever came back into the game, you could be like, is JackJack around? I'll be like, what up? Mm-hmm. They're like, oh my God, you're here? I'm like, yep, vibing. Like, that's cool. Or if you ever, like, people like Fluffy D and other folks who have been, like, diehards, like, I haven't seen them playing as much, but they're also playing in other areas.
Right.
Folks are playing near their jobs. Jobs change. Jobs move. You know, some players have moved to, like, Parker and other places because, again, life is still happening around us.
Yeah, for sure.
And the game is just always there to play for your enjoyment. And so I'm glad people become more casual, but, like, there's folks, like, I think one of them is like, you should join this. I'm looking for someone to work under me. And I'm like sliding my hair behind my ear, like, no. You know, like, we're just doing this because, again, with hopes that if we do get this ambassador thing, that, like, we can use the perks to only bet our community, but we already had that community prior.
Yeah, the community ambassador. I mean, remember the first drop, we were kind of like on the fence about it, mainly because like it seemed really fishy. it seemed really weird. Like, and it's still like the vetting process, the whole like, oh, there's so many applicants. Like, Niantic, there aren't.
There aren't. Let's be real.
It's fine. Like,
girl, don't lie.
Whatever. I do think it's a pretty cool perk to have for your community. So like Littleton does it really well. They have a community ambassador. I believe one of them's Vader's Blade. If you remember from back the
Vader's Blade,
the PvP days. And so like, and they host some pretty big events. They have some really big parks out there, like Roger Clement Park.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Which is cool. Reminiscent of events we used to hold. This is the only reason I was bringing that up. But like, you go there, you check in with the community ambassador, and you get like a free item. You're like, it's like little things like that. So the actual perks are pretty good. So I do appreciate you and Dotman especially gunning for it.
Well, and what sucks is that how I read it, and again, people could correct me if I'm wrong, is that it seemed like there can only be one ambassador per like area.
Right.
So I'm like,
that is my understanding.
Yeah. So if you have a city area like Aurora,
yes.
Can Aurora only have one ambassador?
Yeah, there's only one Aurora master.
Yeah. Which I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, so that seemed kind of weird to me. I was like, is that what they're trying to do? Is just
true
like
Pokemon master.
Yeah, and so I was just like, well, no, we're not gonna go that route if that's the case.
Because communities are, dude.
Well, to me, it's a community, so you should have more reps. Like, you can have like North Aurora, South Aurora, like Southlands, and Southlands never wants to associate with us, but whatever. Like certain folks don't want to associate with us, I'll say. But like, to me, I'm like, so like when I see people like, hey, we're doing this whole thing, join us. I'm like, no, you're good. Like, I'm glad you guys have your thing. I'm not here to crash that.
Right.
But I'm also not here to like be like, let me
absorb me.
Yeah, I'm not here to be absorbed. Like, I'm my own little fish in the sea, and you are too. I'm just respecting that you're there. Because at the end of the day,
you should just go off the deep end. You should be perfect cell, or you should be cell and absorb everybody else until you.
No, that doesn't. To me, that's not fun. Like, and also to me, it's just like everyone has their different styles.
Oh, for sure.
And our style is very much like, we're not there to be the powerhouse. We're there to be the relief area. We're there to be. I'm stressed. I was stressed about all these things before, and I found a group that's just like, yo,
community support.
Yeah, I liked it how, as much as I disliked the title initially, like when we were doing more of the tournaments, when they're like the Roar people were like the frat bros. I'm like, but you guys had fun with us. You guys, like, people gave us all sorts of accolades for that. But when I was like the frat bros, I was like, what?
We're a fraternity, baby.
Yeah, I was like, why the frat bros? I was like, well, because you guys are partying, you guys were like having fun and drinking. But then like people came from other states and be like, no, this is like really fun. Like you guys are a legit community. They're like, other groups had us set up our tournaments in a McDonald's, and you guys are actually in a bar, and you go, or like a local venue that was fine with us playing. You could get food. Yeah, they supported us, and we supported them. Like we gave great tips, and we got great service. So I was like, but you're trying to make us sound bad when we're not, because you still came out to us, and you had fun.
Well, that's the best part is we were selected out of all the other applicants because of things like that.
Yeah. And so I just laugh, but that's where I'm like, I just laugh at that stuff. And even during the application process, like they don't talk about, I thought it was interesting that they didn't talk about things that like you guys that happened prior to the application, to the ambassador program being started.
Really?
Like, yeah, they don't really ask about that. They don't ask like, they ask like, what is your current group? And they're like, if it's Campfire, that's better preferred. So for me, I was like, well, we'll just stick with Campfire because I'm not going to, because basically they're like part of the vetting process was like your stuff, all communications can't talk about things like cheating, like discuss or promote. And I was like, well, we discuss everything because it's part of the game.
Right.
So if you just don't want us to even talk about it, then
that's weird.
That's weird, but okay. And again, it was not, we don't promote cheating, but we acknowledge that it's there because even they talk about cheating. So
they
I'm
literally
like,
just talked about it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so just like, okay, you talked about it by saying you're not talking about it, but you're still talking about it. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And then they're like, you can't promote other things. And I was like, well, we have like the open channels for like people to talk. Granted, it's still family friendly.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, well, that's weird. I was like, well, then.
Lunch's food event.
Yes. Well, that's why I figured keep it to Campfire for the simple fact that the Campfire stuff, I think the only channels I have in it is like Catch of the Day, the general chat, and then setting meetups. And then I think I set up something for the wild area coordination.
Okay.
And I put like an image to like help people out and let people know, hey, we'll be here. If you need people to go raid and do whatever, we'll be here. So
I mean, that's a smart move to just do the Campfire as opposed to linking in Discord or Telegram.
Well, and I let people know in the Discord. I'm like, hey, we're starting this up.
Yeah.
If you want to join, here's the link. And I've been casually sending out invites here and there, but I'm not trying to blow people up because I understand I'm very much subscribed to why do I need a chatting app to chat with another app, but I need an app for that one, even though I already have an app.
I've given up on that.
Yeah, so I was just like, blah, blah.
Because like every restaurant, every place has their own app now or whatever.
Dude, it's insane.
In Japan, it's very similar, but they still use like physical cards, like membership cards.
Oh goodness!
So I was just like, Carla was.
They need to get back to the little keyring things.
For real.
Like the little small ones, you just boop, 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 call that good.
Carla was making fun of our friend Ruth for having all these cards, for like discount cards or whatever.
Aww.
And I was like, that's kind of weird. And then I didn't realize I downloaded an app for everywhere I go. It's just like Taco Bell, got an app for that, dude. Whatever the local restaurant is, got an app for that. Got it. It's just like, sure, I'm spending money here. I might as well get my points type deal.
Yeah.
And then now I was like, I'm that person. So it's like, I don't know. When Campfire first came out, it was like...
Well, it had its problems, though, because remember, it was like revealing people's locations.
Yes.
It was grabbing information it shouldn't have grabbed, even against, I feel like, what iTunes wanted for them.
Correct.
They're like, you're overreaching. And I was like, and it's all in the sake of getting data. As Dotman always is like, they're just trying to collect. And I was like, they really are. And with this Pokemon game, I'm like, how much do I want to feed into it?
Right.
Thinking about the community stuff, like, Dotman and I are both like, yeah, I could see where it could have its perks. And we already do all this stuff in the community already. So to us, it's just putting it into their little platform. They'd be like, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, but going through an official channel, quote unquote, official channel, it's pretty nice because like it helps newer players or people that aren't part of the community yet kind of understand like, oh, these guys are legit. Not that we're not legit, right? But
yeah.
It's just another added layer.
It's like we've been here for years. And so for that other person who's like, well, I'm doing this, and I was like, that's great. Like, I didn't even respond. I was just kind of like, yeah, continue doing you, but like,
but we are here.
Yeah, we were already here. Like,
I have this movie.
Yeah, I just think about it like, the folks who do camouflage. Like, I'm here already. Where are you? And I'm already sitting there like yeah, already got. Yeah, I've been vibing this entire time watching you run around. I'm like, yeah, we're already here. And I already know exactly how much energy I want to put into this game. So like, I'm not worried about it. And especially like, we already naturally like, because there is already someone who is like, well, I'll go if you're going, and I'm like, yeah, because we've already built that kind of rep. So I put up an event for the freaking Drillbers, and they're like, where are you going to be out? And I was like, I just won't put up for information. Like, I'll be out and about in this area.
Right.
But, like, I don't know when.
But I'm not
because,
organizing
I'm not organizing an hour because it's a 1-star raid.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, you got it. Like, you don't need resources. But I was like, for the for the wild area, I was like, yeah, we will be there. So, like, just know if you come to Aurora that there will probably, at least AMC area, that there'll probably be at least, like, 10 to 15 to 20-something players probably in that area ready to do Gigantamax raids on a whim, as long as, again, you speak up and say, hey, it has to, and like, you'll know because like, it's just the beauty like it was day one with the Dratini Park. Mm-hmm. You know where the Dratinis were because you could watch the mass migration of people on their phones. Yeah, and you just follow the crowd. You just kind of pay attention to your map. If you see that there's a Gigantamax and you see the crowds moving, just follow. Yeah, really easy. Sure. To me, I was like, just do like what black people do when they see people run. They don't ask questions. They just
run.
They just run in the same direction. They run away from whatever. Why are you going to ask, what's chasing you? You just run.
Even better is when, what's chasing you? And then they go look anyway.
Yeah. It's literally just asking for trouble.
Being a Colorado weather person is one of the most interesting jobs in the world because it's like, get paid to be wrong all the time. But anyway, so far, the forecast is showing a beautiful weekend next weekend.
Yes.
So
they said the only snow potential, I think they said 30% chance was like Tuesday.
Early in the week. So I'm hoping that holds because it seems like it's going to be a really beautiful weekend, the nice weekend right before Thanksgiving, right before all your Turkey Day shenanigans and stuff. Yeah,
if you're celebrating, awesome sauce. If you're not, I get it.
Do your thing.
If you want to give thanks or you have no fucks to give, I feel you either way, for sure. If you're doing Friendsgivings, that's also really fun.
Respect.
Yeah, Friendsgivings are amazing. If you go, my family's been doing the non-traditional route, so we'll have like the classic turkey, mashed potatoes, dressing,
beans, greens.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I did put up that event. It just doesn't seem like many people have been receptive, which I don't mind because then I get to keep
your cash.
My cash. So I don't mind at all.
Okay.
But there is that event, the AR picture challenge. Mm-hmm. If you want to participate, there is instructions up online and on the Discord. And I think I even made a campfire check-in thing for it too, because the main thing with campfire is you could also check in remotely, so you don't have to physically be at the events. You could say, I'm going to join and do this and be in your respective area.
And you can communicate because it's supposed to be a tool to be like, hey, I'm on my way,
exactly,
or like whatever.
And they even stressed, because remember how we joked like, how would they have communications? It's still like, please be proper, please do this. Like, I could ban people. Like, I've seen it. I'm just like, you act silly, bam.
The hammer, dude.
Yeah. No, so there's that, but like, so we have some traditional dishes, but then at the end of the day, like, we'll order Chinese. I'm going to pick up a pizza. We'll get like fried chicken, and we have it where it makes up, again, the different cultural foods. Yeah. And it's still bomb as hell.
And it's a feast with the people that you love.
Yeah. And to me, it also supports other businesses that wouldn't typically get that flow because everyone's like, I need just my turkey, my ham, and that canned cranberry shit that like no one really eats, but we always have on the table that's sliced. Like, you don't need to perpetuate certain things if you don't want to anymore. That is the beauty of growing up and being in a society where you have a freedom of choice.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, if it feels stressful, don't do it.
For real.
If you're like, I'm tired of my family right now, I'm sorry that's happening to you, but take a break.
Yeah.
Like, this year's been rough. Things might get rough in the future as well. Enjoy the peace while you have it.
Find your own peace. Take pleasure in the small victory.
Yeah.
Because you might need those moments.
Yeah. Don't forget those moments either.
Yeah, for real.
If you want to just do Friendsgiving, I know some folks that like, even like Halloween, they had I know some folks that threw a Halloween party after Halloween, and it was glorious. It was less stress. You can find costumes for cheap, and you just go and have a good time. You get candy for cheap. Again, do what works for you. You don't have to celebrate things on specific days that people expect you to, but do what works for you. And if you say you're like, I just want to vibe out, or like say like me, I haven't Black Friday shopped hardcore like I used to.
Yeah.
Since before COVID. Like, I think I've drastically dropped how much I used to. Because remember, I used to go like 6 p.m. Thanksgiving. I'm at Target waiting in line, like waiting to just get DVDs.
Getting 300 DVDs.
Yeah. And I've definitely dropped in that. And I'm just like, nope. Like, I barely do the online shopping stuff. Drastically dropped down on that. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, habits change all the time. Like, it's okay. Kick off a new tradition if you want to. Maybe you might pie your neighbor or something. Like, do it. Like, I don't know. Have fun with it. Like, or maybe you might make that a gaming competition day. Like, instead of like smashing turkeys, you could be playing Super Smash Bros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it could have went or Smash Your Bros.
Or Smash Your Bros. You're fine.
I think that's okay too. Bros need to get smashed sometime. But
tight.
I always think of the one to cover me, and he's like literally putting a cover on him. But yeah, it's like, again, have fun with it, and with the game, obviously, do your research, do that preparation. I'm excited for the Wild Areas event, just to see like what unfolds. I'm obviously mentally preparing if there's glitches. I'm hoping there's not many in our area. Usually Aurora is pretty good. I really hope the missions are short and sweet. That's all I'm hoping for. Is that
you're gonna have to go fight 8 specific gym leaders, 8 specific warriors.
That would just suck. I don't want that.
It was
I'm like, yeah, that was just such a headache. But again, I'm hoping for some good events from that, or good feedback.
It'll be good.
And again, if you're trying to get involved in the community, again, there is the Discord, Aurora Masters Discord. If you're on Facebook, again, you could just ask, like, is there a Discord? And usually people are pretty keen to let you know. And again, the Discord's pretty calm. Like, it's just, nowadays people just go, like, if there's more raid groups, they'll hit you up. But like, there's also, again, channels in there if you want to just showcase your culinary skills, like Joe Butt Munch, or if you want to show off shiny catches or hatches, or me, I actually got, like, from the Lugia raid hour, I got a 4-star Lugia.
Got a perfect Lugia.
Yeah, I was like,
with the arrow blast.
I was like, hell yeah. And it was like the first one I did. Like, I was telling Keith, when I met up to trade with him the other day, I was like, yeah, I was just sitting at my house, and I was like, that one.
I shall have that one.
Yeah, that one over there. Hopped into it, invited a few people. I think we had like 5-6 people do it. And then, 100%. I was like, weird, but I'm done. Gang. And then I think I traded one of Chris's, and I got lucky on it. It was like a 98, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm all good in the hood. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, like, I never thought being a filthy casual would feel nice.
Sometimes it's nice to have your time.
Yeah, and especially because, again, if you
pressure.
There's no pressure. The community stuff, that's where I kind of feel that pressure, where I'm like, damn, I'm not as present. But again, no one's being like, Jack, where are you? It's just like, if I'm there, I'm there. I'll be like, yo,
Yeah,
what up? And then they're like, oh, snap. So,
there.
yeah. Any fun questions to end the cast on today?
There's an idea I had.
An idea.
Get you. Okay, so
Let it rip.
we had. So there's a lot of speculation. Legends Z to A is coming out next year, and like, what are the starters going to be? And Remy was like, "Oh, it's just going to be the same starters, but they'll actually have mega forms this time because they didn't originally." And I was like, "No, I think they'll do the same thing as like Legends Arceus." Where they had like Pokemon from different generations, new starters, so they'd have a final form that was different.
Yeah.
That got me thinking. I kind of wish a mechanic in a game or like a Pokemon game, like if they're going to make a new game, maybe in the Legends style, maybe not, but it's like essentially your character is like an archaeologist, right?
Okay.
And they find the fossils. And you get like...
As it should be forever.
All the fossils. So then your starter Pokemon is basically, which fossil Pokemon do you want? And then there's like a whole story with that and like things like that. So...
Yes.
My question for you... Do you like that idea?
That's already, yes. As soon as you threw dinosaurs into the mix, I was already there.
But I feel like I already know your answer.
Of which three would it be?
No, which one? If you know, you have access to all fossils. Period.
Yes.
What's your starter? Fossil?
Well, and it also, are you saying like, is it only going to be fossil Pokemon that could be your starters?
Yes, only fossils.
Only fossils.
Yeah.
Well, if it's supposed to follow the same starter typings as well, and have like the fire, grass. Oh, it doesn't have to? Okay. Well, then you already know Amora's going to be on there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Amora has to be there. But then to balance that out, because Amora's what? Ice and rock?
Yes, I think so.
So then something that would counter that would be like, I think like Lileep. Because isn't that like grass and bug?
Yes.
Or grass rock? Or
it's grass rock. Most of them are rock types still. But.
Yeah, which is annoying. And then I think the other one, just to balance that out, would probably be the little bird.
Archeops?
Yeah, Archeops.
I think it's a rock flying.
That would be those three.
That'd be my choice, by the way. Like if I was going to pick a starter out of all of them.
It'd be the flyer?
The Archeops. I don't know. I love him.
He's sweet.
He's so cool.
Well, and especially if it's like you're saying, he would get like a newer form.
Yeah.
Like for Aurora's, if he got like another form. Because originally I would have went with either Chikorita, because it's still a dinosaur. But if it had say it got another form, very similar to like how Rowlet Decidueye got like a grass fighting.
Yeah.
I'd want Meganium, instead of just being pure grass, to be like Grass Fairy.
Okay.
And then from there, I'd have like Feraligatr. But instead of him just being... Because he's just water. Yeah. He'd either be Water Dark or he'd be Water Dragon.
Okay.
Just to kind of mix it up a bit. But it'd also make him super weak to Meganium, which would make sense because I was like, Meganium would just be this god form. And then... For the Fire Boy, would have to be something with poison, fire poison, to make it especially weak.
Yeah.
Or strong to Meganium, which could be who? Who would that be if I was to choose a fire starter to adjust their fire typings?
To fire poison?
Yeah. Let me see. Who? Because I don't remember a fire start... Just a toxic pig. He'd be kind of funny too. Fire Pokemon starters.
Delphox is fire psychic.
He'd be interesting. I would laugh if it would be the cat Incineroar.
Yeah. Instead of Fire Dark.
Yeah, Fire Poison. Just for the simple fact that we already had Cyndaquil. Tepig would be interesting. Like you, I've never been a fan of the monkeys. And then Lyn, I think, would just be an interesting choice because he's already kind of fire dark. So to me, fire poison isn't far off, and it would keep him low to the ground. So he'd actually be a cat.
Maybe a cat.
Yeah. So I would go with him. I would have him have like a fire poison
That'd be kind of fun.
persona.
Yeah, I think going back to this fossil starter idea, like the whole game would actually play out almost more like a Tomb Raider or Uncharted.
Ooh.
With Pokemon. Like there's a whole storyline and everything. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm cooking, dude. Let me cook.
Let him cook.
Anyway, I was just thinking that earlier. I was like, that'd be kind of a fun, different formula. I've been really into like the archaeology, cartography stuff recently.
Okay.
So like map making and just exploring in different forms.
Would this be in like a future form, or would this be like Indiana Jones like level archaeology, like where you're in tombs, or would it be like in the future you come back to Earth desolate and you're like, let's see what happened here from our ancestors.
Let's go with that one.
Of these Pokemon.
Okay.
Because you could still have like the Paradox boys, and they show up and then like they re-earth the primals from like a state, but at what point in time do they become primal?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Did you have any questions for weird scenarios? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I love that scenario. I think that's cool because I think it would fit. It would branch together the Paradox and primals.
It'd be fun
to a degree of like we were researching that, and that's what led to our collapse. Ooh. To some way, and then like we just didn't understand what happened, and then you find a portal that takes you back to like the week of. When they found all this and shit went haywire, and they're like, we don't understand what happened to Earth. We were just happened to be on this belt that was here already. And they're like, what do you mean this belt? It's like, belt. There was the belt that has always been around Earth, right? And then it's like, it's actually like Deoxys's future form. The aliens actually showed up. Rayquaza went fucking ham and broke the moon, and that's what created the belt that's around. And that's why like Rayquaza, you see him as kind of like that's the belt's symbol and protector because it's always constantly looping it around. Yeah, and basically Primal, Kyogre, and Groudon are on Earth trying to restore it back to its glory because of this, and also because Rayquaza's like, I'm mad at you two for letting Earth get destroyed. So you guys have to work full force, and that's basically the time you're into with these paradoxes or with the future form.
That'd be sick.
And so they're used to the belt, and so when they come back to Earth, they're like, wait, the moon? That's the moon? And they're like, moon. Yeah. They're like, you didn't have a moon in your time? And they're like, it was the belt. And they're like, what's the belt? The belt. And then they show like in their Pokedex the belt. And it's just shards of the moon all around the Earth.
Cool fairy chunks.
Yeah, and like the fairy Pokemon basically are there, and they're the ones constantly helping. And then like the ghost Pokemon from all the previous ones. Oh my god, I dropped Venusaur. All the ghost Pokemon from Earth basically move to the belt because they're like, well, we have nowhere else to be.
That's sick, dude.
And they like help out and kind of give clues, but they don't remember everything that happened because it was such a trauma that the Earth got destroyed. I think that'd be dope. That'd be a good actual like physical story.
Yes.
That's one thing. Does Pokemon actually? Because I think about it for like Halo and Star Trek and all those things. Like they actually have like books. Oh. Does Pokemon have like actual books of like, story? I know they have like manga, but like
I don't know if they have novels. They might, but I mean they're mostly manga.
Because I think like books would actually be kind of cool to like. Yeah, you have your Pokemon. Granted, you'd have to gloss over like, oh, the Pika. Like, you're not going to have all that. You're like Pikachu muttered in agreement or like chimed in.
No, my Pikachu talks, dude. Didn't you see the remake of.
I pretend that didn't exist. Like, Ash. I was like, the fuck? I love the collective theater was like, what? Like, just Ash. Confused. Like, I'd be fine if in that time, like, you had a psychic link with your Pokemon. Or, like, as long as you're buddies with them, like, they'd be like, hey, or like they'd have like the technology to be like, hey, what are you doing? And like message you, so like would ping in your Pokemon's like, hey, what's going on? Like it seems shaky outside. Do you want me to come out? Yeah. Like they're in their Pokeballs, but they could still react to like the world around them.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I can't wait to spoil the ending of the story. In which case, you wake up from a coma because
stop. No, I'm kidding. I don't want that.
Like Ash Ketchum.
That again, when they wrote that lore, I was like, dude, I can see all this. I still thought that was genius. That's something that they need to make a movie out of. Is that?
All right, brother. You got anything else for the people? We told you guys to be safe. Don't have to follow whatever traditions you don't want to. Enjoy yourself.
Be a trailblazer for yourself.
Be
especially with going to the wild areas.
Oh,
Be your own trailblazer in that.
Yes.
But no, again, just please make wise choices. Don't get FOMO. This game constantly repeats itself, so like if you can't make it, it's A-okay.
Except for the clones.
Except for the clones. Bring them back.
Bring back the clones.
No, just be mindful, especially going into this season. Like November is a high time for the holiday blues.
Yes, sir.
Especially because people think like I had someone message me like, "Oh, we're heading into the months that are only for couples." I'm like, who the fuck says that? Like,
what?
I've never once heard that in my life.
No.
And I was like, and besides, like, I don't know, like, who said that, but don't believe that bullshit. Don't feel like your only validation is with another person. Like, that's weird. Like, please enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
I hope you do more things you enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing.
And you're here, and we love you. So
yeah,
come on.
Come on out, have fun with us.
Come on!
Come play Pokemon.
Excellent. Well, you'll see, we'll try to be out at AMC for Wild Area.
Yeah.
That's going to be really exciting.
I even made some Dynamax pins. I need to see how they're received. And I know, I think George is talking about he had like keychains with little Pokemon. I was like, those are cute.
He made a cute keychains out of Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
So it was a good way to repurpose old Pokemon cards.
Yes.
Especially like bulk stuff, because a lot of people were just giving it away essentially or selling it really cheap. And like, regardless of how much a game store will tell you that card is worth, the art is sometimes amazing, even in those little squares. So he found a way to make some keychains, and they looked really cool. I like them. So yeah, things like that. A lot of people in the community do a lot of really cool stuff out there. So yeah, just keep an eye out.
Yes.
Stay safe out there.
Support your local businesses, especially this holiday season.
Please do. Shop small.
Yep.
All right, we love you. We out.
Bye.
Bye.